What's up, guys? Stephen One Boy Thompson.
It's the IBF champion, Earl Smith Jr.
This is Cynthia Calvio.
Hi, this is Michaela Mayer.
This is Derrick the Black Beast Lewis.
This is Daniel Miracle Man Jacob. Shout out to Kendrick and Matt.
And you're listening to
the Slip and Dip podcast
With your boy Kendrick and Matt.
And you're listening to Kendrick and Matt on the Slip and Dip podcast.
Woo! Slip and Dip podcast, episode 56. We hitting you with the UFC and boxing. Got some Deontay Wilder talk. Gonna talk about that Earl Spence fight that yours truly was second row to see that brutal body shot. In fact, we got his trainer, Mr. Derrick James, coming on. We got Derrick the Black Beast Lewis coming on. Miss Kristina Williams from Bellator. And with our ball, you get the call, staying with the theme in 2018. Mike the Two Jackson, man. Fire lineup. I'm fired. You fired, man. This Combat Sports was hot this week.
Yeah, well, last week, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this weekend was pretty much just Errol Spence just destroying.
All you need to know, man. A star was
destroying
born.
Bodily organs in the first round, and MMA is just a bunch of local stuff that nothing really made any headlines this weekend. But the week before, UFC was hot. I mean, UFC 225 was nuts for all the right and wrong reasons at times. But yeah, man, I'm loving the lineup today, man. We got a lot of good stuff. Derrick the Black Beast Lewis, once again, bringing the funny, as always. Derrick James dropped some knowledge on what Errol Spence does. And, of course, we'll talk to Kristina and Mike as well. So, fun lineup for you guys. Fun lineup coming.
I'm not gonna break news, but I'm gonna spit some facts. I'm gonna put my reputation on the line. Deontay Wilder came out Monday. Mr. Dan Raphael, I saw him at the fight. He's a fraud for y'all. You take ESPN away from his name, he's not that good a reporter. But it's not my business, though. I digress. He came out with this report in ESPN. Wilder accepted offer from Joshua's camp, which he did. But he didn't put the context, man. Here's the context. Mr. Joshua walked away from a $50 million offer, which would have been the highest guarantee for a heavyweight fighter. Mike Tyson didn't get that high guarantee in boxing history 2 weeks ago. That offer was Monday. It's Saturday, Sunday night. We still hadn't heard nothing. They don't want that fight in 2018. They, as in Joshua and Eddie Hearn. So therefore, Deontay Wilder, next opponent, won't be Anthony Joshua, but a little no-name guy named Dominic Brazil who will get stretched out within 3 rounds. This is coming from very legit sources that you can check the catalog, as my way Matt was saying. I'm batting a high average, and I'll continue batting that all-star average, just saying.
So you're saying this is breaking news or is not breaking news?
It's not breaking news. It's not official. I'm just telling you what's going to happen in advance.
Oh, okay. So this is
so what I write, like I said, you check that tape. What I write yet again.
So this is
this inside information. I'm putting it out publicly.
No. So what you're saying is this is a tweet that you have to be sure to put the emphasis on targeted fight, not official. When you put it out there on Twitter. That like how they like to do in MMA so much, and people take it as fact.
Yeah, this fight, I won't say it would never happen. It's just not happening this year. All right. Like I said, the one that the $50 million offer, Mr. Dan Raphael didn't do his homework. He didn't put that in there. That's a big thing. Who does that? I ain't never made $50 million in my life. They say, hey, man, you can never talk to bad again, but we're going to give you this $50 million. I want to take that money.
Well, yeah, I would also tell you to take the money and enjoy that $50 million. But I mean, how much of it is him just holding out because he thinks maybe he's worth more, maybe he can get a better deal somewhere? I mean, or is he scared of the fight, or is it just he thinks he can get that money elsewhere in a more favorable deal for him?
He knows he can't get the money anywhere else. Let's get that for the record. He's never make that money. This ain't no Floyd Mayweather. He ain't making that money on the regular, for starters. And then second of all, his trainer don't want that fight. I'm a trainer, my bad. Not his trainer, his promoter, Eddie Hearn.
Yeah. I've heard that quite a bit. I've heard that quite a bit.
Yeah, does not want that fight. So yeah, that's the real. With the Earl fight coming to Dallas, I got to do my Vegas and New York and LA work in my own backyard. I was like, I thought I had my playground. I could sleep in my own bed, kick it with the family, and still do my thing. And they have to leave the state. I literally 5 minutes, zoom into the start.
It's nice, right? It's nice,
but
right?
the Star, man, you got to go next time you fight. Like, they kind of bought a mini Vegas and New York combined to Dallas. Dak's sitting in the front row. You had Michael Crabtree was in the house. I talked to Michael Irvin about 5 minutes after the fight. It was a lit atmosphere, and I think if he does it again, it'll be more lit because more people want to come and be seen. Like, you have more people coming, especially if he has this fight, say for instance in like May, when the Cowboys are out of season, the Mavericks will be out of season because we know they ain't gonna be in the playoffs, and the Rangers will just be getting. But if he does it on the right Saturday when they're not playing, that thing can blow up. He's that new guy. Like, we knew in the boxing world, he's been a star, but Errol Spence is this close to being a star on a national level, where everybody knows this man is a top 5 pound fighter in the world, and he lived the part. Last night, the guy actually came to fight, and to what he said, and his trainer Derrick said, that was to his detriment. He came to fight. I mean, they said it with a straight face too.
Let's be real though. It's not like he ever really had a chance in that fight. I mean, nobody was giving him a chance to win that fight. I mean, everybody knew what that was. It was written on the wall before it actually went down the way it did. You know, when the fight's over in the first round, and the result goes as it should. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of local athletes, like local celebrities. You know, you see Dallas Mavericks Twitter shouting out Errol Spence, giving him some love. So I mean, what was the atmosphere like though? Yeah, with the star and the gloves, the Cowboys font. Yeah, it looked pretty sweet. It looked pretty sweet.
Woo! Saved by the bell.
Party foul.
He had the man down on his gloves.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, tasted. I'm not one that get crunk off outfits. When I saw that like an hour or two before the fight in person, I'm like, man, let me get a replica of that.
Yeah. It's nice, man. A nice little nod to
but
Dallas.
Like, it was crazy. It was lit because some people just happy. I had 2 or 3 people I've heard from since damn high school. Man, I see you down on the floor. They just happy to be in the arena. Like, that's how, like, people like on the second level. They didn't care. They was happy they were in that big event and being a part of it. So it was like a sample of what it would be like once you get to AT&T Stadium. Which the only way I still think, I don't care what they say, the only way he can fight at AT&T Stadium, he has to fight a mega fight against somebody like Canelo because that's to be a Mexican fighter.
Yeah.
Like Terrence Crawford from a boxing standpoint, that is the fight I want to see. From a business standpoint, and them folks will get laughed at. Jerry be like, child, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can happen at the Star. It cannot happen at AT&T.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, so boxing world's on fire for Dallas, man. Hopefully they turn the Star into its own, like, boxing venue. That was the first boxing event they had there, so hopefully that can turn into a world class, venue for boxing. I mean, it looked pretty good from what I saw on TV. It looked legit. Obviously, you're there in the atmosphere.
Had too many people doing too much. Dallas folks.
That's nothing new. That's nothing new.
Can we stop doing too much? With these people, the people from BBC that Errol Spence do business with, these people travel the world. They be in Brooklyn a lot. They be in LA. They be in Vegas. And they were very thrown off that Dallas people is that rugged and ghetto.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. And then I had one guy specifically been in the boxing game for 30 years. Said, man, I thought I'd seen baby mamas fight. I seen people catch lawsuits. I ain't seen a man that's posed as a reporter asking the question with a toothpick in his mouth. I ain't never seen that in 30 years of being around the sport. So we had tomfoolery, ghetto-ness on a 15 and not in a good way.
Yep, it's definitely not in a good way.
It's like you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. So let's touch on a couple of things that are coming up here pretty soon. Obviously, UFC this week. We got Contender Series once again. Greg Hardy made a splash on the first week. Positive and negative light, obviously.
Trying to track him down. Give me a week or two.
Yeah. This week we got Ryan Spahn from Fortis MMA back out there in action. So we'll see if he gets to make it. He was on last season, so we get to see if he makes it through. So Contender Series Week 2, Season 2, coming down on Tuesday. And then we got UFC Singapore, Cowboy Cerrone, Leon Edwards. That's a pretty damn good main event, in my opinion. So we'll see how that one plays out.
How good of a fighter do you think Edwards is?
He's really good. His hand game is really nice. Really, really nice. And he's just gotten better. Gotten better with time, man. He's the type of fighter that can wear you down and frustrate you. And, Cerrone, if he comes out slow, it could be a problem. You know, and we know Cerrone. He's got that history of starting slow, but it's something that he has gotten better at in his past couple of fights. So we'll see how it shakes out. I like the main event. You know, you got OSP Tyson Pedro, good fight as well. The Jessica battle, Jessica Rose Clark, Jessica I. Some pretty good fights on the card. Pretty good fights. Nothing to write home to all the casuals about, but pretty good card. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, what else do you want to get into, man, before we hop into these interviews? Because I think that's pretty much it for the combat sports world. Heading up. I mean, we're watching Money in the Bank right now, but that's neither here nor there.
I leave to you. I defer to you on this one. So it's just studio gangsters or keep them in their studio?
What?
Studio gangsters.
Who?
Nameless and faceless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, them studio gangsters. I know it's a little slang. He's like, "Ooh, that went back to '95."
It is what it is, man. I mean, listen, there's trolls on the internet. There's people going to criticize.
For people not as a studio gangster.
I will say this.
I was gonna break it down for Urban Dictionary.
I will just say this. It's a quote I heard recently that truly rings true to a lot of different people. Pretty much, I've never known a scenario where this isn't true. So just keep this in mind, people. Never met a hater that's doing better than you. Episode 56, we getting into it.
Please welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. I won't say defending because you don't defend nothing, but the reigning 2017 Trainer of the Year, and he already got my vote for 2018 Trainer of the Year. All you got to do is see his handiwork the last 2 weeks, including last night. Trainer of Earl Spence and Jermell Charlo. Please welcome Mr. Derrick James. Derrick, talk about these last 2 weeks, man. Your two guys did what they had to do, got W's, and looked good.
Well, it was good, man. I can relax a little bit now. I know you had asked a question about last week relaxing, and so now I can finally relax because it's over. I have 2 more fights at the end of the year, so just look forward to that. But I get to relax a little bit now.
Gotcha. For people that wasn't at the Star last night, give us some insight to that atmosphere because I was there second row ringside. That's one of the few times I've seen somebody get dropped that brutally in the first round, and everybody was excited. Nobody felt like they got cheated or got their money took from them.
Well, what's funny is that I've been in a lot of arenas in the past couple of years, 5 or 6 years, and you get a lot of energy in New York. You get a lot of energy and especially it's nothing like being in the UK. But this in Dallas last night was comparable to the UK. I mean, it was better in New York because it was like, hey, it was amazing. I mean, the energy, the electricity in the air, the star power was out. We had people from Dallas, a lot of local celebrities, from football players to television personalities, radio personalities. It was great, man. It was a guy like Errol Smith to bring everybody out. I met people from New York, South Carolina, North Carolina, Minnesota, Florida, just everywhere. People came in from Spokane, Washington, Tacoma, Washington, LA, just everywhere.
That's crazy, man. So, for Errol, did you feel like he was a little bit more amped up because he was getting all that hometown love before the fight?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that he's able to keep it bottled up, man, and keep it, he's able to keep it under control, which is beautiful, you know what I mean? Because, sometimes you never know how that affects the individual because, some people feed off of it. Sometimes big crowds get the best of people. So, it's like, you never know, man. But he's able to keep it under control and bottle up, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. Do you think there is something to that, though? Having that hometown crowd, feeding off that energy, like maybe there's an adrenaline dump early or something like that. Obviously there wasn't for him getting it done in one round, but is there something to that? Do you think with some guys?
Yeah, man, without a doubt, man. It put it like this. What's funny about it is that many people out there yelling and screaming for you. I affects him. It could be a positive or it could affect you in an adverse way. And I think that if you look at guys that go overseas and fight, those crowds get the best of those guys. Just like same thing that happen, I imagine, when you fight at home, you get too preoccupied or too with everything else going on, man. You could just drain your energy and adrenaline and zap you. So we find a happy medium in between and try to dwell within that.
How do y'all build upon this performance, and how much was this like a dry run of what's going to be expected? Like when you have that, when y'all get that mega fight in Vegas, so y'all get that mega fight at MSG. How was this test run with? I don't know how to deal with tickets and family and a lot more media attention and all that. How much was this get y'all ready for that big scene when y'all get to that even bigger stage?
Well, I think that if you look at it, it's like this. I mean, everything he's done with his management, they built him up to be able to be prepared for this. So if you look at this, we everywhere we go, it's always been like this. I mean, you imagine the UK is like this, in New York is like that. I mean, so all these fights in the past 4 years have been pretty big like this. I mean, and so it has prepared him to be able to thrive on this level. So it's a beautiful thing, because had he not had those experiences, it could have affected him not so great. So it's good.
In a fight like this, when your guy goes out there, gets guy out of there in the first round, you don't really have much time to. I mean, you don't have any chance really to analyze what's going on in the cage or in the ring rather, because your guy gets it done in the first round. So as a trainer, I mean, how does that make you feel, knowing that your guys out there just finishing a fight? I mean, you really essentially had a night off in a way, right? Because you didn't have to do any mid-round coaching, making adjustments, or anything like that.
No, man. Well, everything is all about the preparation. You know what I mean? So that's where all that hard work comes from. Some nights you would hope that it would be so much hard work doing the fight, but it wasn't an off night because man, just making it back to the locker room was just like. It took me about 30, maybe an hour to get back to the locker room. So that was the work, man. Getting back to the locker room and taking pictures and everything. So that's just what it is. You accept it, you understand it, and that's what it is. I mean, from being in LA last week to coming to Dallas, coming home, and it was beautiful. It's great.
Who do you want to see next? I know they asked you last night, and you said the one out of the Porter and Garcia fight. What if you have to take a tuna fight in between? Well, not necessarily a tuna fight, a stay busy fight in between. Who would you want if that fight doesn't come to early next year? Y'all want to, because Earl said he want to fight one more time before the end of 2018.
Well, that's not what I said. I said that, not that that's what I wanted. I just said that's what they're talking about. And that's a possibility, because I mean, like I said, I don't try to interject I want him to fight who he wants to fight. He wants to fight the top 5 welterweight. Yeah, I want him to fight the top 5 welterweight. It's like, I just, my job is to, get him prepared. Which I mean, this guy was a difficult guy because, like I said, wasn't a lot of video on him. He didn't know what he was going to do. But he came to fight, which was to his detriment, because by throwing punches, you open up, for the counter punches, which he said that's what he's going to do. But you open up for shots to be hit. So you have to be a little cautious of what you want and you desire, because you could really get that.
And on the Charlo side of things, what do you think about Jamel's performance, and what do you think what's next for him? Especially, what about that crazy scorecard, man? How you drop somebody twice in that card and you get a draw on a card?
Hey, man, hey, kid, I'm gonna let you answer that question. I had no idea. But if you think about this, Kendrick, if you drop a guy twice and you beat him, realistically, he dominates the whole fight. Maybe they just say give us try to round, maybe 2, I don't know. But to say he won, so think about this, those 10-8 rounds kept Jamel in the fight. Think about it, those 2 10-8 rounds kept him in the fight. Because, I mean, had he not dropped him twice, he would have lost on that guy's scorecard. But everybody in the world saw that, you know, it couldn't have been anywhere that close. But, hey, I just, hey, man, there's nothing you can say about it. You got to make sure you go and keep working. I think he wanted to knock out just a little bit too much. And, I mean, that was the result of that because, you know, you just got to let it flow.
Who do you see next up for him at 154?
I mean, it could be Jared Hurd. I'm not calling it, but I don't know. It could be Jared Hurd. I mean, he just fought 2 mandatory, so this one was a volunteer, but I think that the unification supersedes everything else. So, you know, we'll see.
Let my co-host know what that Lions Only is all about. He don't know about that Lions Only.
Hey, man, that Lions Only, listen, brings out the fire in these guys, man. You know, it's about just digging deep. Like, you know, the Lion comes out in Jamel, man, which, you know, it comes out in Jamel every time he's in the just spawn. I mean, when he's working out the dig deep, I see the Lion because, look, you spawn with L. He's throwing those shots like that, you know, and Jamel throwing those shots back. So for you to be able to contend with that, man, it's for real, it's serious.
Very cool. So, I mean, obviously, with the success of, you know, the event here at the Star, I mean, do you guys think that, you know, you can use this as kind of a way to build some more momentum to maybe have some leverage to say, now, you want to fight our guy, you got to come here to the Star and, you know, make this kind of like your home venue in the future?
Well, I think that's what they'll do. I think that, you know, you want to do that, and we want to build on that. We want to, I mean, we obviously see that everybody getting ready, you know, because the way people came out, it was amazing. People all dressed up, looking beautiful. You know, you think about the influx and what he was able to boost the economy for people coming from out of town. The hotels that people you know, stayed in, from the restaurants people ate at, from the stores that people shopped at, whether they were from in town or out of town, from the travel on the road, people flying in. So it's almost like the same thing you had when Floyd fought. I mean, that people coming in town to watch the guy fight. And so it was gave the economy a boost for sure. I mean, because of everybody coming in town, or at least they give everybody time, they say at least one night, right? So you look at that, and I mean, but most times people came for the weigh-ins and that. So it was beautiful, man.
Yeah, and for people that, you know, that are listening to this that aren't familiar with that part of town where the Star is located, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there's virtually nothing over there. Like it's grown into like a big metropolis in that part of town in Frisco. And I mean, the ballpark was there, but other than that, you know, there's stuff going up all over the place over there. All these businesses moving in and everything. So to have, if you guys can, you know, start this momentum to build this boxing venue there at the Star, I think that'd be something pretty special. But what did Jerry Jones have to say? Did you have any conversations with him on the night?
Well, he was happy with the performance. He was happy about the knockout. You know, he's a businessman. He wants to keep L fighting out there if he can, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's the key for him, and you know, and really for the city of Frisco, which what you show is that your demand and what that means and how it means to the area or the city. So you get the city involved to put their dollars involved in what you're doing. So you show them the true power. When I fought, we sold X amount of dollars in seats. You know, think about the Terrence Crawford fought. He sold 8,000 seats. And he fought a world champion who just beat Pacquiao. So the people from Australia, who came to the fights? Who knows? At the same time, in L.A., they had a fight. There was 10,000 people at that fight. Those are 2 world champions from L.A., 2 Mexican fighters. So this one guy, so, you know, 14,000 seats or more in his hometown fight when Terrence Crawford don't do that much in his hometown. So, you know, he's selling more. So when he was in New York, he sold 12,100 his last fight. It was just him. See what I'm saying? You know, he fought Lamar Peterson, yeah, but people really come to see him fight. I mean, you look at the numbers when Keith Allen fights, Danny Garcia, Keith Allen fights, Sean Porter. Those are big names. Those big names are not selling tickets. Those big names are not getting views like he was able to get. So that's a difference. It shows the type of fighter that he is right now. Even when Keith, remember, L has the most watched fight in the past decade. We fought against Leonard Bundle, and we'll say who? Leonard Bundle, a black guy from Italy, right? A black guy from Italy, who nobody knew about. But people watched the fight for L, not for Leonard Bundle. So that just shows what type of fighter he is and what kind of guy he has, that power. Because look at it. I mean, the numbers that people say, numbers don't lie. And they didn't even release the undercard of this fight. Pretty much, they didn't release the undercard of this fight. I didn't know who fought the undercard until I showed up at the weigh-in.
Yeah. I think
I'm serious.
Yeah, that's how it is in boxing, though. I mean, we cover MMA too, but in MMA, like, the whole card, everybody. I think that's something boxing needs to work on, man. Boxing needs to work on that to build it, making it more of an event than just one fight.
No. But no, this is the very intention of the whole situation. They knew the power of the one fighter. So if it was a weak card, they would have told you, everybody, they would have told you the mother was coming.
Yeah.
But that's because this one guy was able to sell, they didn't have to. See, the point I was making was the obvious is that they didn't need the undercard to sell the tickets to get the people out there. You fight in Dallas, right? So you say, we're going to get Mexican fighters on the card. You talk about it, you build it up, it's going to sell even more. But they didn't even do that. They didn't talk about it because it was all about the one guy, point blank. And he had the power to sell the tickets. I mean, from the first day, when the tickets went on sale, the floor was almost sold out, man. I mean, so you think about it, you all saw it. I mean, you saw the way people came out. So, I mean, boxing does tell the undercard when they don't know how well, if it's a doubleheader, just to put it like this, it's like even Leo Santa Cruz and they had Jamel Charlo on undercard. But that's going to help sell, right? Or when you got an Adrian Broner fighting, and then his undercard is Jamal Charlo and Tank Davis. So the thing about this, that's not so much they stacked up. They're trying to stack this card to get more people in the venue. Not to, the card was great, but it's a business move also. So the triple header, he did a triple header with fighters that people really didn't know.
Yeah.
So
that's the difference.
I see that. I mean that makes sense.
Coach him up there. How cool was it for you for being around Earl since day one to hear them say and still in Dallas and everybody go crazy?
Hey man, it's crazy, man. It's because I don't even know, because you're out there, you're in the moment, and when we went to the middle and I said something to them, and then when they I didn't even hear that, man. It was just so crazy. I didn't even hear the announcement. You know what I mean? I really didn't. There was so much going on in the ring and so much, you're just happy it's over, really, because I don't really celebrate, but you're just happy that moment is over. Like, you did it, you worked. I can relax a little bit. I can chill out a little bit, So it's like you for 8 weeks or 9 weeks, you feel the pressure, you feel the heat. You know what I mean? You feel like it's like now you read everything people say. You read, or you may not reply to it, but I see what people talk about. So it's like now it's kind of over. And it's good, man. So now we can he can relax and chill out. We're going to New York tomorrow, and we can kind of start building on the next one, whoever it is. Like, for this last fight, if y'all recall, you don't remember, he fought Lamar Peterson on Saturday. On Monday or Tuesday, they ordered him to fight this guy, Carlos Ocampos, the IBF. Ordered him to fight him. So It's like 2 days after. He's like, man, damn, I just fought. He called me like, man, you see those guys? I said, yeah. And I just today, like yesterday. So they ordered it just that fast. So, you know, they got what they want, man. You know, you can do a volunteer for somebody, man, whatever. I don't know.
when your guy goes out there and gets the first round finish, I mean, I know you guys like have a set plan in mind, you know, how many fights you want to have a year. Like when you go out there and you get it done in the first round, do you think you maybe want to squeeze in another fight, or are you going to stick to that same schedule you guys got set out for the year?
We're going to stick to the same schedule, man. I think that you can't be too greedy. You know what I mean? You know, the body takes a lot of, when they're training for fights, the body takes a lot of stress, pressure, you know, and everything. So I think that you have to, you know, be conscious of that, you know, putting your body through a lot. And, you know, you just don't want to be greedy, man. You know, if we can get 4 of them, you know, it'd be beautiful. But, you know, that's probably not probable, you know. And it wouldn't make sense. I think one more fight is shorten his career by a little bit. That's 4 fights in 1 year, you know. You know, he's okay. I mean, with 3, it's beautiful.
Very cool. Very cool. That's great stuff, man. Great stuff as always. Mr. Trainer of the Year, 2017 Trainer of the Year, upcoming 2018 Trainer of the Year, Derrick James. Dropping knowledge once again on the Slip and Dip podcast. We appreciate it.
So what y'all doing in New York?
Tomorrow sometime. I don't know exactly when, man, but
no, I said what y'all gonna do
tomorrow. Oh, it's all about the press, the media, man. I'm going to ESPN, going to, you know, a Breakfast Club, probably do some other shows. And
we see you on Stephen A. now?
Yeah, it'll be on Stephen A. now, and some other stuff, you know.
Okay.
It's gonna be good, man.
Yeah, that's
you know,
good look right there.
Tour. You gotta give a tour. You gotta, you know, it's like you gotta walk the room, you know, and just, you know, basically what it is. You know, just talk to everybody and kind of like, you know, do business, you know. And, they want to talk to him, so, you know, it's like really everybody will talk about, you know, the fights. You know, I had the Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford, Danny Garcia, or Terrence Crawford. I mean, Keith Thurman. That's really what everybody wants to talk about. So, you know, you gotta answer the same questions, you know, for the 1 millionth time, and you see how it works out. You know, so you see how it works out. You know, and that's it. You know, so it's good, man. It's good, man. I mean, people want to see him. They try to fight. They want to see him. They want to talk about like the relationship they have with Jamel or me, and you know, so it's good.
Very cool. We look forward to that. I definitely be watching all the interviews that are coming out of that. So it's always good to see you guys get, you know, that national spotlight. So that's what helps you guys grow.
And I for sure will be up in there early before y'all get up in Pete Camp this time.
All right.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on the show again, and congratulations on the win, on Errol Spence's win, first round knockout, body blow, just crushing all the organs. Had them being froze on the canvas. He didn't want to. He was hating life.
Yeah, man.
His mind wanted him to get up, but his body wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a little bit had something to do with Kell Brook, because he probably laid some chocolate.
Yeah.
You know, Kell Brook said he caught his right hand and chocolate brownie where he hit him right in the stomach. Hey, man, I'm pretty sure something happened today. You know what I mean? Couldn't get up. Chocolate brownies, man.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on the show again, Mr. James, man. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks for having me, brother. Take care.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dave. Welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. One of the most powerful punchers in the UFC today, Derrick the Black Beast Lewis, who will be fighting Francis Ngannou at UFC 226. So is it another day in the office for you, or is it a little bit more hyped up for you since this is I won't say emotional fight, but a personal fight?
No, it's just another fight. It ain't nothing. You know, I fought way tougher guys, I believe, you know. So this is just another fight.
So is the back and forth just to build up the fight?
It wasn't no back and forth. You know, he said what he said, and I said what I said, and that's it.
So, thank you for coming on the show again, Derrick. We had you on a couple times, episode 43, episode 39. And on those episodes, you kind of said it, that we don't really know how old Francis is. So did you ask for a birth certificate before you signed the fight?
Nah, it don't matter. If he's older than what he's supposed to be, that's even better.
For sure. So we've seen all these videos of him, going hard again at the PI and everything like that again. We saw the same stuff before his last fight. So, taken away from what you saw in his last performance, are you expecting anything different out of him when you step in the cage with him?
Hopefully, he trained harder than he did his last fight. I'm hoping we'll see a better improving Lugano in this fight. So I want nothing but the best.
Do you think he may try to surprise you, try to wrestle you?
I doubt it. I doubt it. For anything, he'll try to surprise me and throw a leg kick or something like that. That's about it.
What about you? You gonna work your leg kicks too? I mean, I know you work on them in the gym. We gotta see them.
I'm gonna work everything. I got a bunch of weapons. I'm gonna work.
Is there any way that this fight goes to full 15, regardless of what high it is, in your opinion? You think there's any way that it goes to full 15?
I don't think so. For anything, it'll be over in the third round, the late third round. For anything, if I don't get him out of there in the first few minutes of the fight, then it's probably over at the end of the second or beginning of the third.
Do you plan on testing his cardio, or it just come when it come?
It's whatever, I'm just go out there and fight whatever he gives me. That's what I'm gonna take it. I'm trying to capitalize on that.
Are you expecting a toe-to-toe war with Francis?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it goes like that. That's what I'm planning on. I'm planning on everything. I'm whatever. I'm going out there and preparing for everything.
Regardless of what happened, do you think y'all gonna hug it out at the end, or you gonna be like, "I see your ass when I see you"?
I see your ass when I see you. With everybody I see, everybody I fight. I'm not trying to exchange numbers or nothing like that.
When you see your boy Travis, he gonna be there. Your girl Rhonda gonna be out there.
Yeah, I know. She hit me up.
She hit you up. So you been watching what she's doing in the WWE?
Nah, I ain't been watching this shit. No, I'm bullshit. I don't even like Rhonda like that. I just been bullshitting.
Yeah. No, it's good though, because the internet loves it. They take it and run with it every time you mention her.
Congrats on your anniversary this weekend, brother.
Appreciate it. It's tomorrow. I gotta go right after this to go get something.
Yeah.
So I heard with the first year you got to get cotton or something like that, huh? Paper.
Oh, I don't know. That's out of my realm of knowledge.
Beautiful, man. Y'all gotta do better, man. Y'all gotta do better. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Y'all Cowboy fans.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Y'all different level anyway.
Well, we're gonna get into that, huh? We're gonna get into that.
Like what I like.
Is your quarterback healthy?
Yeah, we good now.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking good at OTA. So.
No. I like Deshaun, man. I like his game. I really do. Like he makes me want to cheer for him, and I guess that makes me cheer for the Texans.
Yeah, especially knowing how racist the owner is, of course.
That's really the whole league, isn't it? Isn't that the whole league?
Damn near, except for the Philadelphia owner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. With all these guys co-signing on, this whole new flag thing and everything like that, forcing them to stand or stay in the locker room, that's kind of, I don't know, it's all messed up, man. The Trump has changed his rhetoric, changed his narrative, and got them to buy into it, and it's all crazy.
Yeah. I don't think it's disrespecting the flag or nothing like that. It's not disrespecting the flag.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize because they only listen to Trump and Fox News, is that Colin Kaepernick, I mean, a quick history lesson for anybody out there listening that does not know this. Okay.
Oh, you just lost half of your viewers.
Oh, well. I've had people who give me the stick to sports on Twitter, and I give them the stick to getting this block button. So,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So, quick history lesson. Colin Kaepernick started this whole thing by sitting down. It was until he talked with a former Green Beret or a Green Beret, and talked him into taking a knee, because that's a sign of veneration. It's a sign of respect. So, directly from a military member taking the knee versus sitting down. So, all these people need to change their their viewpoint on this. Or actually,
Tim Tebow did something like that.
No, see, that was another thing taken out of context, because Tim would always kneel before the game in prayer, and whenever he scored, he would kneel down, which is a flag thing like twice, but he was always kneeling, praying before games.
Wow.
Let me ask you, what do you think about racism in the UFC?
What do you mean?
Like, do you see any of it? Because, like, on our end, we see it. You see how many people looking like us we covering the fights, but that's none of my business, though.
Of course it's there. It's all on the social media, really. You really don't hear it too much in the audience. I heard Mike Jackson heard it a lot at his fight, but I don't really hear it too much in the audience and nothing like that. But I hear it on social media. Yeah,
it's definitely there. I agree with you. It's more online, more social media stuff than anything. But there's always going to be trolls. There's always going to be trolls out there that, faceless internet trolls that don't deserve the time of day because they're too scared to show their face when they talk shit about people. So,
The same way with the KKK. They're the same way.
Oh yeah, they got to put on the hoods to conceal their identity because they want to talk shit behind the sheet. So it is what it is. We heard Dana going off about changing the weigh-ins from the AM to the PM again. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't care. Shit. So I'm make weight anyway. Right now, I'm the lowest I ever been in the longest time. If I wanted to, I could be in the 50s right now. I could weigh 255 probably if I wanted to.
Okay.
But I don't think I am, though.
So it don't bother you either way, huh?
No, I don't care.
Okay. All right.
But it is good to wake up in the morning knowing that you could just go right downstairs and go ahead and wait, and you could chill the rest of the day and eat and whatever, drink.
Yeah. You look good on your appearance on UFC Tonight the other day. I'm like, man, he can fight already. Were you already fighting when he did?
I've been ready 2 weeks ago. I've been ready to go. I've been training since my last fight, really. I still been moving around with the cast on my head.
Okay. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about Greg Hardy. I know you saw his fight. I know you talked about it a little bit. He's since said some stuff back saying, he's going to remember that you said some stuff about him, but...
Yeah, who cares? What are you going to do?
I mean, it's kind of tough considering, the whole reason that you're more animated, like you say, you're more motivated to fight guys like that is because of what he did. So, I mean, does he really have a place to talk about you talking trash to him, or, I don't understand how that adds up.
Oh, he didn't really say nothing. He just say you're gonna remember that. Yeah, I want you to remember that. Shit, I want him to remember next time he raises a hand up to a woman. I want him to remember the consequences of that too. I want him to remember that.
You think it look even? It's already tough for a brother, but when you see somebody doing that on that big stage, you think that's kind of like people like y'all get grouped in just because y'all associated with him by being in the same organization?
No, I don't give a damn about none of these guys. I don't care. I'm not in UFC trying to be friends with all the UFC fighters. I don't care. This is just my job. That's all it is.
So when they had like the fight week, not fight week, but like the fighters retreat. So do you talk to anybody, or you like, what's up?
I've never been to the fighters retreat.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I haven't. I never been. I got the invite one time, but I didn't go. I got kids and I got family. I like being around my family. I don't like leaving them for unnecessary stuff that really don't even have to do.
Yeah. So are you into the World Cup at all?
Yeah. Yeah, but the damn thing is early in the damn morning.
So I mean,
I'm rooting for France right now, man. I'm rooting for France.
Okay. Why Why France?
Oh, they got the most black folks on the team. That's all. Can't root for USA, so I got to root for France. I ain't damn sure not root for no damn Nigeria. So when I was locked up, there was a lot of them damn Nigerians guards up there being racist towards other black folks. You know how they are. They think they're better than the American blacks. Forget them.
Dang.
How long were you locked up, D?
Almost 4 years.
And how's that have shaped your mentality and stuff to live that straight life and be the family man that you are today?
You know, I was raised without no father. You know, shit. I know it sounds cliche, but still, I was raised without no father, and I had to learn the hard way. By me going through that, if I had never been through prison and all of that, I would never be the man I am today. You know, that really changed me, made me humble, and realize how precious life is. You know, and so, and another thing is by me having kids and family. That right there settled me down a whole lot because I probably would have still came back out here in these streets and got in trouble if it wasn't for my kids and family. So if anything ever happened to them, you guarantee the Black Beast will be a hitman.
Yeah, man. That's strong stuff, man. That's strong stuff. I'm glad that obviously you are where you are in your career, man, and taking the path that you're taking, man. You know, you inspire a lot of people. You know, speaking out against guys that that have a domestic violence past, like Greg Hardy and all that kind of stuff, man. I like to see what you've been doing lately, man. So, what do you think about the
Greg Hardy situation?
Well, it's interesting because I think people deserve a second chance.
Yes.
At the same time, I don't think he's done enough publicly to truly show that he's learned from that mistake. He said that, it's essentially like he just started a whole new career without, maybe, let's say, publicly doing some things to, support anti-domestic violence charities, things like that. I think there's more that he needs to do on that front. But at the same time, I'm able to separate what he does in the octagon. Like, just look at Greg Hardy, the fighter, and separate Greg Hardy, that guy, as well. So right now, covering MMA, I'm just looking at what he does in between the cage, and not so much focusing on that other stuff. But the moment he slips up, the moment there's any hint of other stuff, man, it's gonna be a snowball of everything from everybody. So, hopefully he stays on the straight and narrow, but I do think he needs to do more to vocalize that he really did learn from his mistakes and what happened.
Yeah, but it's always going to be there. People still always going to bring it up, no matter what.
Oh yeah, it's attached to him for the rest of his life. There's no getting around it, especially something like that, man. You can't escape that.
Yeah, it's crazy that people bring up Robert De Niro, whatever his name is, Scarface. What's the guy name that plays Scarface?
Al Pacino. Al Pacino.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah.
They bring up his past. I never even knew that. I never knew that he had raped a little girl, allegedly.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
What's that?
I didn't know that either. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out lately about all these guys in Hollywood and just doing all sorts of stuff.
Oh, they talking about Jamie Foxx, Willie Beamer. I know Willie Beamer can do
that. Well, Jamie Foxx, though, here's something you know this because you around some people with some dough. When I first started doing this whole media thing, and there's one person in particular that's in the Dallas media told me, you notice when people, celebrities, athletes that got money, when they know they're in the right, they sue or press charges back. When they don't, like the Tiger Woods stuff. Notice he didn't press no charges. But the fact that he pressing charges or countersuing, that means it must be some false to it because rich people don't like losing their money. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, so you're going to have to waste money to fight that case, And his credibility, they trying to ruin all of that. trying to ruin everything. Like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby knew he was wrong. He went blind and everything for a little bit. Shit.
Notice he didn't sue though either though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Zeke. Zeke Elliott, man. He fought that thing as long as he could and spent all sorts of money and everything like that. And the league was still like, nah, you're going to take the 6 games. So
What did he do again?
He was his ex-girlfriend alleged that, there was some domestic violence there. And even
she was trying to set him up from the get-go.
Yeah, there's a text message and everything that said she was going to ruin his life and everything like that. And I guess the league said, "Nah, we got to make up for these. We got to make up for the Ray Lewis thing that we mishandled. So we're going to give you 6 games, even though that there's no evidence and nobody would convict Zeke on anything." So that was pretty messed up.
Also, Black Beast, on the fighting side, a lot of people are basically saying the winner, you and Francis, should fight Curtis Blades. What do you think about that matchup after he just got done busting your boy Alistair open?
I believe if I win by decision, then yeah, I should fight Blades. But if I knock this damn dude out, I should fight for the belt.
So it would be safe to say that you're going to be watching that main event?
Yeah, I'm going to try to watch it, yeah.
You gonna go back out cage side and probably, try to get a camera on you after whoever gets your hand raised?
Nah. I'll be in the green room eating cookies like I always do, eating cookies and chips.
Do your team watch fights? That you don't really watch fights? Do your coaches and stuff watch fights and break it down? Do you watch it with them when you, like now, you watching film on Francis, or you got your people doing that for you?
I guess my coach and them doing it. I don't do it. I don't. Whenever I'm at home, I don't even watch UFC fights, really. I really don't even watch them.
You don't do podcasts. Why don't you a media guy, man? You got the personality.
I just don't like doing media with black guys, really. Especially Cowboy fans.
There's only 5 of us in the MMA game. They trying to make it less than that.
Oh, well, what can we do to get things moving then?
Hey, you know the powers that be. That's the $1 million question. That is the $1 million question.
No, I'm talking about to get y'all out of here.
The problem is there's no money in this game, so that's what makes it tough. We got bills.
How do y'all get paid anyways?
We got to do a bunch of little freelance stuff here and there, multiple outlets.
So there's a lot of hustle.
A lot of hustle.
And they hate on the hustle, D. They hate on the hustle. If I could tell you a story, I wish I could.
First of all, y'all got to get a real setup going. Where's the other guy?
I'm behind the camera. I'm
behind
the camera that you see. But I'm on camera. I'm on camera.
Put the camera.
Y'all sit up there complaining and all that.
Come on, bro. I'm right here. You see me? I'm right here. I'm on the camera for the video feed too, so don't worry about that.
First, get a real podcast set up. Then y'all start.
Hey, that's part of the budget, man. We're trying to fit it on the budget. We're falling on the budget over here, man. Falling on the budget, baby. Hey, I will say this: unlike some of these haters out there on the internet, we put our face on camera. So, we talk to you guys, we get the answers from you guys, and we show our face on camera. We don't hide behind anything. So, I would just say that.
I'm supposed to be starting my podcast next week. I'm supposed to be getting one going.
Oh yeah, what you got going on? Who's setting this up? Who you gonna have on? Is it just gonna be you, co-host? What is it?
No, it's me, my strength and conditioning coach. We started one. It's supposed to be called Beast in the Beard.
Beast in the Beard?
Yeah.
Well, you got a beard already, so how's that work?
Nah, his beard is bigger than mine.
Okay,
do you let trim before the fight?
Huh?
Do you get it trimmed down for the fight? Or do you let it grow out before the fight?
Shit, whatever my wife want to do.
Yeah.
Shit.
Now, so what's the podcast going to focus on? Is it just going to be you guys talking about fights or just whatever?
Nah, it's going to be on whatever. It's really not even the sports. It's going to be whatever. It's almost going to be like Big and Black or whatever his name is.
He passed away. Robin.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, robbing big.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, more like that. We follow him doing crazy shit in the streets and stuff.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like that idea. I like that idea. So when did you say that's getting started again?
Probably next week.
Okay. So it's going to be on video too, on YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
we are waiting on the cameras to come in.
Very nice. Very nice. I look forward to that, man. I look forward to that. You know, you do have a video presence. I don't know if you acknowledge that or not, but when you're on UFC on Fox and things like that, you know, the camera seems to like you. People seem to like you, respond well to you. They think you're hilarious. I think you're hilarious. So,
All right. I'm all right.
Be good.
Hey, tell them about behind the scenes how they robbed you and your number on the bag punching.
Yeah, I know. They told you about that?
No, you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I hit 985 after that. You know, I didn't give me a damn warm up. So I hit 985 after they did the TV interview.
Okay.
So they didn't have it on TV. So it made me seem like I only got 1 point over DC. But I really hit 985 after my first attempt.
Nice. Yeah.
You were watching your boxing?
Nah. But I'm going to watch that Wilder fight, though.
What about the Earl Spence fight?
No, I don't even know who that is.
Ooh, man, you need to catch up, man. He's one of the best in the game out here in DFW.
You got to know the Charlos. You know other Charlos, right? They in your hood.
The twins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about them. I haven't watched none of their fights, though.
They crazy. You see them, you be entertained. You got two dudes that look alike, that both can fight and talk a gang of shit. They crazy.
Yeah. I think I seen one of their interviews last week.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then, don't you?
But this week or last week? No, it was this week.
Yeah, he fought last week.
Oh, okay. I seen the interview.
That
That
leads
he
me to...
talked about his brother. They talking about how different they are with the fight pace.
What do you think about judging in general? Like, that reminds me, like, last week, the guy with the twin that fought Jamel, he dropped Austin Trout twice. Guy had never been dropped him twice. That's 10-8 in boxing, but they still scored it a draw. What do you think about all these crazy scorings up in y'all sport? People that should be winning are getting losses or should be draws and they taking L's. What do you think about all this crazy judging that's been going on the last about month or so?
Yeah, I heard it was real crazy last week. I don't know what they be looking at. You know, maybe they listen to the crowd more, or they listen to the hit whenever a guy get hit? Do they listen to the punches, kicks, or what? The movement, the control? I don't know what they be looking at. You know, so it's really hard to tell. Depends on, I guess, it depends on the type of day they have, how comfortable their stool is that they sitting on. I don't know.
Would that be the biggest thing you could change in the game? Like, what would be what's the one thing that stands out to you in MMA right now that you would change?
Probably ring card girls. You gotta get someone with some meat on their bones. Them girls too damn skinny, man. And they think they bad too. They think they sexy as hell. That skeleton walking around in cage with all that damn lipo and the damn ribs showing and all that. Nobody like that shit.
There it is. Derrick wants to change the ring card girls. You know what they did over in Invicta, right? They brought in Elias Theodorou, so I don't know if you want to go full ring card guy, but that's the thing that's happening these days.
Nah, man. Come on, man. I know you're a Cowboy fan, man. You don't have to bring some dudes in. We talking females right now, man. God.
I'm just saying, if you complain too much, that might be a direction they go. I'm just saying. Yeah, man. Well, Derrick,
bring more guys to the, especially they'll bring more brothers. They'll start watching them more too. You know, and get some girls up there with some jiggle to them.
What do you think they can do in general just to attract more brothers to watch it? Because a lot of brothers watch boxing, but for some reason they hadn't caught on to MMA.
I guess you gotta, like I said, put some jiggle ring card girls. And serve Hennessy in concession stands. You know, I don't think they serve any Hennessy out there. It's rock. I don't think they serve all that.
They got that Modelo Especial.
It's trash.
What do you think when you see that Stipe commercial? Do you think like, I want to fight that man, or you just like don't pay no attention to it?
No, every time I see it, I'll be like, man, that beer is trash. Shit, nasty, man. That beer is so nasty.
That's a
but, you know, if they sign me, they pay. They say, hey, we want you to be our spokesperson or what? That's gonna be the best tasting beer ever.
Do you do these recovery methods like the CBDs, like the cryo, the float tanks? Do you do any of that stuff?
Now, my manager sent me some of that CBD oil. I've been trying that.
Do you think it works?
I don't know, because I was still being high at the same time. So, whenever I smoke, I try the CBD oil. So it's like really don't know what is working, the weed or it's the CBD oil.
Right. But have you tried the cryo chambers, the float tanks, and have you done either?
Yeah, I tried that. The cryo, it works a little bit.
Yeah.
I probably try the float tank tonight. They have it right now at Lifestyle Fitness by my house. I didn't know you was married, big boy, Beaumont.
I was living in Beaumont when I met him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Beaumont. And the funny thing is, my co-host is from Beaumont.
Yeah.
He was in high school.
I thought you were from Beaumont.
Nah, I'm from Dallas. I was just living out there when I met you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's funny.
I got your name saved as Kendrick from Beaumont.
I'm Kendrick from Dallas.
I said, Kendrick from Beaumont, do not answer.
Damn. That's cold right
there.
That's
my old phone, though. You know, you've been trying to call me for at least a year now. So I finally answered this year. So
Yeah, man. I'm actually from Beaumont, though. I grew up, I went to middle school, high school, everything down there in Beaumont before I moved away.
Sorry to hear that, man. We okay?
I made it out, man. It's all right. You know, I survived. Life is better.
My man.
Man, that is all time over there, man. That's prison time.
You wild, boy.
Nothing to do there. You know.
Did you get time? Were you in Port Arthur?
That was terrible out there too.
He's a PA into the jail, PA. Watch out.
Hey, you know what Beaumont is famous for, right? No.
What, the traffic light? That one traffic light y'all got?
Beaumont has the world's largest fire hydrant. Yeah, take that for facts.
Just right by my job.
Exactly. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. There's a lot of good people in Beaumont, though. Shout out to all my people that listen.
Nah, don't listen, man. I guarantee that nobody listen over there. Everybody,
I guarantee they do. I guarantee they do. They're actually big fans. They're big fans of Derrick Lewis too.
Oh, what's up? Hey, y'all.
See? That's what it is, man.
Oh my, what's up? Port Arthur, what's good?
He's like a DJ all of a sudden. So what you plan on doing after your fight?
What do you mean? Fight week?
Well, no, like when you come back to Texas, are you just gonna lay low for a couple weeks?
We was trying to book a Disney cruise, but they asked too expensive, man.
Hey, you knock out Francis, you gonna get that bonus to take care of that, right?
Nah, I got it now. I'm not gonna be spending no $4,000 a ticket for me and my kids, my wife.
Yeah, that's pricey.
I'm not getting no small room, not on no damn boat.
Yeah. Have you been on a cruise before?
Yeah, we went 2 years ago.
Yeah, those rooms get super small. You got to make sure you definitely get one with some room, because it'd be like you can't fit through those hallways and stuff on half of them.
Yeah. Shit. And the one we went on, the lady had fell overboard.
What?
Yeah.
You on that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
That
was like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that story. That's crazy. It was in Galveston, right?
Yeah.
I was working at Beaumont then. I remember that was like a big deal then.
So what happens then? Don't they have to like stop the ship and stuff, or like how's that happen?
Yeah, they stopped. They kept going. We went on lockdown for probably like 10 minutes to see if they could find her or what. And they checked their cameras and they noticed that she fell overboard, sitting on the rail.
Wow, that's wild.
And so probably like 200 miles away from shore.
Yeah. Did she make it? Anybody know that they get her? They find her?
Nah, they still haven't found her.
Oh yeah, she's not gonna be found then. Wow.
She gone.
Wow, that's wild. That is wild. People, if you're out there on a cruise, don't just look. Like you can see the water. You don't need to get on the rail. I don't know why people do this.
That's the instruction that they give you.
Yeah.
Before you even get on the boat, they tell you all that. But people do it every year, still fall off the damn boat every single year.
But there, man. So give us a prediction before we get you out of here. What's your prediction on the fight? First round, second round, third round?
I don't know. Hopefully the first, but if not, maybe the second. So we'll see.
All right. There it is.
Who you got in the main event? Stipe or DC?
I don't know. Hopefully DC wins. If DC wins, then they'll vacate the belt, which I believe DC is supposed to retire afterwards. And they vacate the belt, then I don't think Stipe will fight for the belt right after that because he just coming off a loss. And so they would have to pick me, the other guy, Blaze, yeah. Yeah, pick us to fight for the belt.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting scenarios that could come out of UFC 226. So
sure.
We'll see them all play out. Derrick, man, thanks for coming on the show again, man. We really appreciate the time. And best of luck against Francis Ngannou.
I appreciate it, man. Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me.
And joining us now on the Slip and Dip podcast, when you ball, you get the call. And our man Mike the Truth Jackson balled at UFC 225 against the man CM Punk. Got it done and got a lot of criticism. Still getting some criticism today for it.
Right. You hate on when you get your
it's like we a week out. Like y'all still talking about that shit? Damn.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, it was one of those fights though. It was one where you had a polarizing figure as CM Punk character, and then you had myself who came in and look, man, I came in I went into Chicago as the heel, and I didn't necessarily feel that I was gonna leave the heel. I thought I was gonna come over, I thought I was gonna be put over, by Punk and hopefully got some fan, love and admiration, but it's been none of that. It's been none of that. It's been, I think I'm a bigger heel now than when I went into the fight, So it's been crazy, man.
Are you still eating the booze?
I'm eating my man. So then I guess that's what Dana White and everybody's upset about. They're upset because I heard it was some tweet, and they were like, all those hand gestures he was doing. So here's my thing, right? Here's how I look at it. Is we know what this is as far as sports entertainment, right? And everybody has their own sort of like their mood they're in when they fight. And so for me, I do my best when I'm like real like loose and having fun. Like if you see me and I got that that worry look when I walk out, that's not a good thing for me. I need to be having fun. So I have an entire arena booing me. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna feed off that vibe, and I'm gonna give it right back to him. So I'm walking out, and I'm nom the booze, and people mad at me. But that was the reaction I wanted. Like I wanted that type of reaction from the fans because it's one of those things. Is like you would rather them cheer or boo you. You don't want just neutral fans. You want them to have some kind of emotion. And I knew I wasn't gonna get cheered out of there. And so I took the heat. What do they want me to walk out, just regular walk out when I got this whole arena booing me? and I'm about to go fight CM Punk. Hell nah. I'm a vibe off that, and I'm a feed off of it, and I'm a give it back to him. But people look at that as me being disrespectful, and I'm like, but they're booing me. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Did Dana say anything to you after the fight, or you just heard the post-fight comments?
I actually stuck around for a little bit. I was waiting for him, and it had nothing to do with. I just wanted to talk to him for a little bit because I hadn't really got the opportunity to do so, and so I was trying to hang around a little bit to chop it up with him. But yeah, he's a busy cat or whatever, so I ended up just leaving and going back to the hotel. And then I get to the hotel and I went to get something to eat. So let's say an hour after the event was over, my social media is blowing up. And so I went there, like I told people I was going to get some deep dish pizza after the fights. So I'm sitting down, I ordered the pizza, and the dude was like, well, it's going to take 45 minutes. So I was like, all right. So while I'm waiting, I get on the phone. And, the shit's just blowing up. And I'm just like, what did I do? Because, again, everybody's like, that fight sucked, and he was disrespectful, and he was taunting and showboating. Like, one, I finally went back and watched the fight. The fight didn't suck by any means. Like, you had made it seem like we did nothing. I went out there and beat this dude's ass for 3 rounds. Like, how is that? Now, I did my part. He didn't do his part. He didn't make it a fair dance match. And then at the same time, it's like, I didn't want to, I told people I really didn't want to hurt the guy going into the fight. I just wanted him to understand the levels of the sport, and I wanted to make it so he wouldn't want to fight anymore. And so I thought I was doing MMA a favor. I get attacked by MMA fans for not finishing him. Y'all, you suck because you didn't knock him out. Like, I beat this dude's ass for y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I sent this guy to the hospital for y'all. Y'all complain he was in the sport. I told you I would get him out the sport. I got him out the sport, and y'all mad I didn't get him out fast enough. Like, and I'm talking about a 10-minute difference.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing is, like, the people that are voicing their opinions, man, like, these dudes have never fought. They've never, not even at an amateur fight. These are people who just either keyboard warriors or just huge fans, right? They're not in there with me. They're not in there in that cage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going through my head. In my mind, and I'm a nice guy. In my mind, I hit him with that first jab, and I saw his eyes lit up, and and at that moment, that was the point that was clear to me. He thought in his head, yo, I'm way over my head, and this water's way above my head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I just looked at it as an opportunity for me to go out there and have fun, and at the same time, it was one of those, like, this dude has his family, his friends there. He has people in the audience. He got people watching at home. We're not trying to, like, move up the ranks. It was just a spectacle of a fight. We said it what it was before it even happened. And it's like, I said all these things prior, and people like, you still suck, you're an amateur. And then I treated it as such, and then they still mad. I was like, I told y'all what I was going to do. I literally told y'all what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. And y'all mad at me. I told you it was levels to this. I'm a pro, he's an amateur. They like, you suck, you're 0-1. Okay, well, y'all saw what I did to that man's face.
For sure.
So it's just one of those things, man. It's really a lose-lose. It was crazy because, like, the people, they seem to just not be they don't really know my style. So, like, again, when I'm walking out, I'm vibing, I'm feeding off the crowd, I'm eating the booze. That's disrespectful. I go in the fight, I look bored when I'm fighting. When did that even become a thing? Y'all, they mad at me because I look bored. Okay, whatever. You want to be, you really reaching to be upset.
For sure.
So then, I'm on the ground. I'm punching this dude in his face. I'm punching him in his body, but I'm not looking at him. That's disrespectful. When did I have to look at someone and hit them? When did I have to have excitement on my face to be in a fight? So then the whole thing about the bolo punches comes out, right? I had no idea what Dana White was talking about. I was like, Bo, what is he talking about? So shout out to Mike Pendleton. You know, he put me on to what it was. And so he was like, yeah, when you was like whirling your hand in the air and hit him, that was the bolo punch he was talking. I was like, yo, I was distracting him. And when I'm just laying on top, when I'm sitting on top of him, and I was punching him, he was doing a fairly good job of moving. When I looked up at because my corner was directly across me, when I looked up and looked at UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich, who's in my corner, we're just like, and then I got Crew Bob Perez in my corner, and there's like, throw the elbows, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at him, and I remember throwing the punch when I wasn't looking at him, and it landed flush on his face. I felt it in my knuckles, right? So I threw another one without looking at him. So I was like, well, the punches I throw when I don't look at him, they're landing, as opposed to when I'm looking at him, he's doing blocking those. Just keep punching without looking at him. He's not going anywhere. And that was the other thing. There was like, it's disrespect because you're not looking at him. I was like,
weird. That's so weird.
I was like, where is he going? It's not like we're on the feet moving around and he can like just he can move his feet out the way, whatever. He's on his back. He wasn't trying. He had the closed guard. So I know he wasn't moving anywhere with a closed guard. His head isn't going anywhere. Once I know where your head is, I can look over here and punch you because your head is where I last saw it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people,
there's a lot of it that doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, what you're saying, like when you were throwing, like twirling your wrist around, like when I first saw you doing that, I thought that was, you know, you learned that in jiu-jitsu. Don't let them get wrist control. I thought you were doing that. Like you see dudes do that all the time when they're rolling. When they're rolling, they do that all the time. They kind of swirl their hands around so you can't get wrist control, and then you're just like waiting for an open. And that's what I thought it was from the get-go. And that's how you know,
that's what it was.
That's how you know
when you're educated.
When you're dealing with people that don't know what's going on in the cage. I'm just saying that. Like I didn't take any showboating away from that part whatsoever. So
it just looked like a tad like why he finishing this. I just wonder why you didn't finish him.
The question. But hold, put a pin in that. Put a pin in that, right? So my question to you, Matt, what part of any of the fight looked like I was taunting or showboating him? I'm just curious from your perspective.
I can see.
Not taking it serious. Not showboating. I didn't think showboating.
No. I can see what people mean by doing like the look away thing was kind of like, okay, but like maybe it could kind of come off as like, all right, this is like so easy I can like look away type thing. I could see where people get.
But I was punching him in the face.
I agree. Like that's the thing. Every single punch that you threw was landing. So like that doesn't matter. Like if it's that's the thing where people need to realize like if Mike is doing this without looking, whether it be like because he's staring at his corner or maybe like let's say I know you weren't, but let's say you were doing it to taunt him. Every single one of those is landing. Roy Jones Jr. does the exact same thing to his opponents, and everybody goes crazy. Everybody's like, "Oh, Roy Jones is the best ever." You know, all this kind of stuff. So it didn't make any sense when I saw that reaction to me. But I'm just like,
How about Michael Page? How about Michael Page?
Oh, yeah, MVP.
But y'all love him. Now I don't know what's the reason because we name it. We're between the three of us. We're all the same complexion, right? So, in my is it because I'm fighting CM Punk now that makes me, and again, I told people before this, I was like, yo, I never said I belonged in the UFC. I'm here for one reason, right? And so I go and fight, and I do what I do, and people are like, you don't belong here. I literally said I didn't, but like, I never said I did. But I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But like comparing, like I said, I don't know. I legit don't understand where these people are coming. And then people were talking about I disrespected the sport because I looked bored.
Yeah. What? That don't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
What does that even mean?
What it really is code speak for I'm disappointed CM Punk showed up in the manner that he did. Because I don't know how it looked like to you in the moment.
So
I don't know what
it's almost like everyone wants to blame me for CM Punk being here.
Right. But so tell me this, Mike. So as soon as the fight started, and you saw CM Punk come across the cage like he did, looking very amateurish, like in his footwork and everything like that. What was the like? Did you have a first thought that come through your mind, like, oh my god, like this is about to be like easy work, or like what was going through your mind when you first saw him coming at you in the stance that he was coming at you?
You conk off that way. You conk off that way. You conk off that walking. You conk off his walking. That's how you bounced it when he came out.
Well, my concern, I was just, not really a concern, it was more curiosity. Mm-hmm. And I was curious to know if he was going to rush me like he did Mickey, or he was going to come out the way he did. And so right before he walked out, we were in the back. I was at the curtain, and he was kind of off in the distance. And I looked over to him. I raised my fist up, and I was like, hey, Phil, we touching him? And he gave me the nod. We was touching him. So I kind of had an idea he wasn't going to rush me this time. But then after we touched gloves, I didn't know what he was going to do. Yeah. And so, you seen that shit before.
Oh, for sure.
And so I just kind of played it in. He threw the kick, and I pulled out, just stepped back. He spun around. And I think he threw maybe like a jab or something like that, and I kind of like parried it or whatever. And then it really was the first jab that I hit that I was like, I'm about to cook him. I'm about to cook this fool.
Yeah. So before the fight, you were saying, this whole experience was about raising the Mike the Truth brand, raising your appearance, in your platform. And after the fight, obviously, we talked about all the criticism, but you've had Daniel Bryan of the WWE come at you. You had Geordie Shore, Aaron Chalmers come at you.
Daniel Bryan came at him. I didn't know about
Daniel Bryan came at him, said he wants to do a jiu-jitsu match. And now you got Aaron Chalmers over in Bellator. I will give this guy this. I mean, I've seen you guys go back and forth on Twitter a little bit. I've seen his fights. He's no CM Punk. He's got some game. He's got some hands. He's got some skills.
Oh, no. I 100% believe that. But that's the thing is, so let's go on that, man. It's like these people, I'm not calling anybody out. And so even so as far as like call out, the only person that even came out of my mouth was Arthur. And the only reason that happened is because he and I actually have a history. Like after the golf fight, I went down the roster and was like, man, who would be a good fight stylistically? I by no means think Artem is an easy fight. Not by any means. The only reason I want to fight Artem is because stylistically it will be a fun fight. Period. Nothing more, nothing less. I respect Artem just like I respect everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. So after the fight, I said what I had to do. I'm chilling right now. And all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan, what he said, I could take him on the ground in a UFC fight. Well, Daniel Bryan, you have to get me to the ground first. And I'm pretty sure I would break his neck with a punch. Not a knock on it. That's just what it is. He has a weak neck. It's not a knock. That's just the reality of it. If he had, I don't know, if he had a weak chin, or if he'd been knocked out a bunch of times, or if he had, half an arm or something. These are facts. You know what I'm saying? So the saying that he has a weak neck, well, because he does. He would have, no one's going to medically clear him for a fight. But whatever. So that's Daniel Bryan. So he makes his comment, and I simply respond to it. And then I'm painted as the bad guy. I was like, hold on. What did you expect me to do? Not respond to Daniel Bryan? Come on. Okay, so we push him out the way because he's not about that life, right? So now I get what is Geordie? I'm going to call him
Aaron Chalmers. The show that he was famous for was Geordie Shore in the UK, but his name is Aaron Chalmers.
We're going to call it the British Jersey Shore.
There you go.
So British Jersey Shore is asked something about Mike Jackson, right? Well, he doesn't tag me in the, and then I find out about it because someone sends me the tweet. I literally don't know who this guy is. All I say to him is, man, you could at least tag me so I would know where you're coming from, right? Then it turns into I called him out. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. He mentioned my name. All I said was, hey, you could have tagged me. And now I'm the bad guy. Continue again. He would do this and do that. I was like, I didn't say, and then he even got on there. He was like, you either want it or you don't. And I was like, want what? Like, I didn't call you out. I'm just trying to figure out why you didn't tag me initially. That was it. And then people want to run it. I'm like, look, man, first of all, this dude's calling me out. We in 2 different promotions. You in Bellator, I'm in the UFC. So I don't understand why people are calling me out who are not in the UFC. And then no one in the UFC is going to call me out anyway because they know where I am as far as my position in the company. I don't understand why anyone is calling me out because I'm not, like, fighting me doesn't do anything for your career outside of publicity. But my whole thing is, like, if you're in the UFC, you're not looking for publicity. You're looking to move up the ranks. You know what I'm saying? So we're all, and I said that before, like, this is nothing new. I'm not, people are, they may think I'm backtracking or changing my, I'm not. I've said the same things before. I wasn't here to get a title shot. I'm not trying to move up the ranks. I had one kid, this tell you how crazy this shit is. This dude told me, I couldn't make this up. This is something I wish I was making up right now. This dude told me that he was offended that I got my opportunity. What kind of entitled shit is that? Hold on, let me get this straight. You're telling me you're offended by me getting an opportunity? I don't understand, because that has nothing to do with you, so you're offended by some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's where we're at, man. We got people, we got wrestlers who don't have a neck to stand on, talking shit. You got British Jersey Shore over here from across the pond talking about he mentioned my name, but then said I called him out. But he's in a whole nother promotion. I just asked a question. Why didn't you tag me?
Yeah.
Mike, do you have a deal with the UFC?
Yeah, can we clear that up?
Do you have a deal with the UFC? Like, do you have like another fight? Like, if you ever fight again?
I'm still under contract with the UFC.
So how many fights how many fight deal did you sign?
I don't know. I have to go back and list like a 4. First was a 4 fight. I assume this is a 4 fight. But I'm still under contract. It don't matter if it's a 10 fight or 2 fight or whatever fight. I'm still under contract. And then people are running, and then I got these old jabroni ass, fake ass media guys. This dude's like, well, we need to clear the air up for me and my followers. Fucker, who are you? So, man, this guy, so I have a problem, right? It's like, if you want to call yourself a journalist, then you need to be unbiased. The way this dude's tweet me, I need to go find it. The way this dude's tweet me, he's clearly showing bias. Like, even today, he mentioned something. So, are you gonna something like? Am I gonna punk? Are you gonna accept his challenge, or are you gonna punk out? And he posted like the Michael Jackson moonwalk gif or whatever. Wow. And my thing is, like, now you obviously biased to your man over here, to the British Jersey Shore cat. You gonna have to pick it. So I called him out on it, and he, well, I would just no, the fuck you weren't. We know what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you messing with the wrong one. I'm not some little dumbass little fighter over here that you can kind of just say some slick shit and get away with it. So I had to call a little bump. What's this? Michael Morgan of Woe TV, some little cornball. Look at this. I wish, man, this dude with these old nerd glasses look like a little dweeb.
Tell me this, then. I know you from Houston and stuff. If somebody really got crazy, and we know you're in the media, would you walk up on them and let them know you about that life?
I don't have to walk up on nobody, because that's not my style. Like, I'm not a dude out here talking shit to people, because I'm not an asshole. You got to be an asshole to just randomly just talk shit to somebody you don't know, right? So look, and I tell people, these cats running their mouths on the internet, hey, I'm easy to find. Just keep that same energy when you see me. All the cats that's from the people that, and I'm all these cities, whether I'm in Houston or Dallas or San Antonio. Yo, I mean, talk that shit in person, or meet me at the gym. We can, if I really suck as much as you say I suck, then meet me at the gym. But they don't want to do that. They want to talk from afar. And then most of these cats are trolls anyway. They got no followers. They accounts on private. I think half these dudes just make up these burner accounts. And they just met. I don't have time for that, man. I'm in a different space. I mute these cats, I block them, and be done with it. I don't entertain that shit no more. I used to entertain it a little bit. I entertain a little bit, and then I realized and then I was younger. I was a little more stupid, and so I was just unwise to the internet. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm hip to the game. I know what it is. Man, fucking Dana White is trolling me right now. Dana White just did an interview, and I didn't hear the full interview, but he was like, I guess someone asked him about Mike Jackson. He was like, I'm not calling. He's Michael Jackson. I'm not calling him Mike Jackson. I was like, you only doing that because I did that shit with your man Phil. That's the only reason he's doing that. Oh no, I'm not calling him Mike Jackson. He's Michael Jackson. Motherfucker, you know my name. Shut up.
So we had your also on the show on this episode we had your boy Derrick Lewis on the show as well. So what do you think about his fight coming up against Francis? How you think this is?
Hey man, we was talking about this fight before it got signed. You know, this is a huge fight. You know, I feel Derrick is ready for it. You know, we were getting some training in together when I was getting ready for Phil, and I saw the evolution of him and what he's doing. The first 3 minutes, though, my heart's gonna be racing. It's gonna be like this, beating out of my chest. But you know, for me, after that, the first half of the first round, you know, we go through that storm of Francis, and then we be fine. We weather that, and then we gonna cook him too. You know, he's not. I know he says he's ready, but Derrick's on another level. You know, and I feel he's gonna knock him out.
Do you think Derrick deserves a title shot if he get this win, or would you like to see him and Curtis Blades?
100%. 100% he deserves a title shot after this win. You know, I like Curtis and I like what he's about, but I feel this is Derrick's spot right now. Let him come up and he can get a look, man, and not take away from Overeem. And I know what the ranking is, but we've already seen that. Like we've seen Overeem up here at the top, and we saw what happened. So I think it's time Derrick gets his shot, and then if, you know, Curtis, if he wants to wait a little bit, then have him fight the winner and fight the winner of Derrick and Stipe. But as far as who's coming next, I want to see Derrick get the shot next.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 226 is a big card. Obviously, Stipe DC, that's going to be a hell of a fight. Nobody knows how the hell that's going to play out.
Are you going back to actual fight?
You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put out DC, my man, like that. Or it's guy. That's my bad. I completely forgot. But so we gonna see Derrick versus DC or Stipe, and then the winner of that faces Curtis.
We'll see you out there International Fight Week.
Yeah, man, I'll be out there. I actually get out there July 4th. I don't know if I'm gonna be covering anything or not, but I will be in the city, and I'll be kicking it, hanging out.
I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow on a personal note, so we talk some business. Your boy gonna be out there. I got a story for you. Yeah,
I'm down. Whatever. Look, I'll be out there for, I think, what's the 4th through the 9th, or
me too. I'll be out to the 3rd. I'm going to the MMA awards. You going to the MMA awards?
Oh man, well they're on the 3rd.
Yeah, the 3rd. Yeah. I'll be out to the 3rd.
Damn, I missed. Damn, if I'd have known, I'd have went out there. I didn't know.
So while you're out there on Fight Week, are you going to be, you know, looking to have that face-to-face with Dana, and, you know, maybe sit cage side, have them put you on the camera, you know how they do the other UFC fighters?
Nah, man. I mean, that's something I really don't even like sit, as far as like sit with in the fans. Command the fans is crazy, man. That's a whole nother atmosphere out there. I'm not with that. That's above my pay grade. I do want to sit and talk with Uncle Dana though. And so, again, I think what it was more than anything, it was just he didn't understand what I was doing. There was just a misinterpretation from his vantage point. Again, I asked a few other people. I asked, like, Luke Thomas, and when we were doing the interview, and we spoke out. I was on the show, and I asked him, I said, hey, you know, do you think I was showboating and taunting? And he said, well, from where I was sitting, it did look like that to me. But then I remember what you said in your post-fight interview. I went back and watched the fight, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand what Mike is talking about. Mm-hmm. So I honestly feel it's just his perception is off a little bit. Again, from his viewpoint, he perceived it one way than what it really was. And I mean, like I said, that's his opinion, so I'm cool with it. And then after that, if he feels the same way, then shit, ain't nothing I can do about it then.
And one more thing I want to pick your brain on real quick before we let you go. Did you see the Contender Series fight with Greg Hardy, and what do you think about him and his I guess his entrance into the UFC?
I didn't get to see. I saw the highlights of it. I forgot I was doing something that night. I forgot what I was doing. But I did see highlights of it. First, I want to shout out to my guys. Kevin Holland got the decision win, and then my other guy, Alonzo Manifield, went out there and smacked dude's face off.
Yes.
But Greg Hardy, look, man, I've talked to Greg Hardy. I've interviewed him, and I believe that anybody they deserve a second chance, or they deserve another opportunity in life. I think he put that behind him. And this is what I got from him, is that he put all that behind him, and he's looking to make a better life for himself. And any man or any person that's willing to accept their faults and look to move past that, I have to respect that. Look, if the dude said he's changed his life around, as long as he don't smack another chick up, then I mean, you have to believe him. And because that's me, I was like, I believe you until you prove it wrong. You know what I'm saying? If he goes in here and he never smacks another chick or hit her with the tiger uppercut, then I mean, you gotta respect that. Now, you don't have to like the man, but to want to deny him this opportunity to make a living and to change his life around, like you can't do that. So you got a lot of people, and again, I 100% respect their opinions, right? As far as the female fighters who are upset that Greg Hardy is in the UFC, and my whole thing is like, first of all, y'all contractors, like no one is an employee, and so you have these people who are trying to deny him a right to make a living for himself now. If you don't like him, again, that's cool, and I understand why you wouldn't like him, especially as a female. I understand why Derrick doesn't like him. I get it, but you need to make it just like, hey, I don't, I would not like to be on a card with Greg Hardy, where you're not in the same situation as him. I think that's the extent that you should be able to go as a fighter in the UFC. I don't think any fighter should be able to dictate who is and who's not signed with organization. If the UFC wants to have them on, then I mean, we're talking about fighting, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about like if this dude was, I don't know, like a cheerleading coach with some little girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not we're talking about. We're talking about fighting. You know what I'm saying? And like the women who are upset, I respect their opinions, and I understand why. But like I said, you can't not want to let this dude earn a living for himself and to change his life around. Again, if this dude said he changed his life and he's a better person, I believe him. I mean, he hasn't proved it wrong yet, so let him do his thing.
Fair enough.
But Derrick Lewis Derrick Lewis him shit.
Yeah, Derrick was kind of he was kind of amped up about him. He was a little amped up about that when we talked to him earlier. So yeah. No,
and, I understand. You have to understand where people come from and their perspectives. And again, that goes back to myself with Dana White. He had to understand. In my heart, I feel if he understood where I was coming from in the moment, he wouldn't have said. Now, he still shouldn't have said what he said, the way he said it, but his opinion would change. So you look at Derrick, you understand the background he came from, where his mother was, physically abused. So you have to understand, like anybody that's known for beating a woman, he's not gonna like them. You know what I'm saying? So I get where Derrick's coming from. I don't know what that's like because I've never been in that situation. I'm not a woman beater, and I've never been in that type of environment where my mother or sister or any female relative has been in that situation. So I don't know what that's like. But at the same time, I can't deny someone else's feelings. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But I know Greg Hardy better watch his mouth when he talk about the Black Beast. He'll catch that fade way sooner than he expects.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. I get it. It's a tricky situation. I mean, I get where Derrick's coming from. I get where you're coming from. I'm kind of like right in the middle. I mean, I get where the people that are like, You know, he's fighting, so it's always gonna. So those people that it doesn't sit well with, when they see him striking another human, that's always gonna remind them of that. I get that whole angle. I get all of it. I'm just more so along the lines of kind of like to what you were saying of like, hey, it's a second chance.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like it's his second opportunity at living life, man. You know, like he's not playing football anymore, so he wants to try and fight again, and he looks to be taking this to the sport well. I've been at all of it outside of his pro debut. I missed like maybe his very first fight, but I've been at all his fights since then. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen what he, like I said, I interviewed the guy, I talked to him, and he told me he's changed his life around. I believe him.
Like I said, man, we got to take it at face value for now, and then just watch closely. Watch closely, and whether you're being critical or you know you're starting to become a fan. Either way, but listen, Mike, man, I appreciate the time, man. We got to get out of here. Thank you for coming on the Slip and Dip podcast again. Congratulations on the win. Still in the UFC, folks. Still in the UFC. He hasn't received his pink slip just yet. So chill out on all the trolling that you guys are doing out there.
Man, I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for having me.
For sure, man. Take it easy, man. We'll talk to you soon. And now joining us on the Slip and Dip podcast is Bellator fighter, undefeated Bellator fighter, Miss Kristina Williams, getting ready to take on Valerie Letourneau at Bellator 201. How's everything going tonight?
It's going pretty good.
Good. So how's your training, your preparation for Valerie Letourneau? It's a pretty big fight, pretty big name. You know, she's been in there against some of the best in the world. You know, Honey and Jacek had a classic fight. So, I mean, how are you feeling in the preparation for this matchup?
I'm feeling really good. I've been training with a lot of different people for this camp. I've been training much harder for this fight than any of my past fights for sure. So I feel really good at the moment.
How much tape study have you done on Valerie? Are you a big watcher of tape, or do you let your coaches handle that? How do you work that into your training?
Kind of both. I don't spend a lot of time watching. I'll watch the videos and then I'll talk to my coaches about it, and then we'll make up our plan. So I don't just keep going back and watching over and over. Though, no, I just focus on what I think I need to work on and go from there.
Okay. What about her game that stands out a lot to you that you can see, or is there anything that stands out that you'll be able to exploit? You know, with your skill set.
I think that we're both really good strikers, and we're both really good counter strikers. So I think we're going to bang it out a lot, which is kind of fight I like. But yeah, I think it may go down to the ground too. So I'm ready for that. But I think it'll be a lot of fun to have a striking battle with her.
How's it feel to be on the biggest stage that you've been in so far in your career?
Yeah, it's pretty, like, the first one was pretty, like, I didn't really know what to think about it, but now I'm kind of getting the motion, but it's still kind of like a huge deal, and I really am still like, I don't know what to think about it a lot of times.
How do you keep your emotions out of it with this being like a big opportunity, big stage, and kind of can change the course of your career with a nice statement win when you get in that cage with Valerie?
Yeah, I think I don't really know what I'm going to feel like, but I definitely think that it's going to be a little different for me coming up here to fight her.
You know, you spend some time training out here in Fort Worth, Dallas, DFW area. Steve Ward, the Warman Wright, who's been on the Slip and Dip podcast many times, really good friend of ours. So, what do you like about training with them and the other guys out there at Genesis?
I like training with Steven a lot. Like, I think his striking is it's really awesome. I like the way he works. I like his pad work. Doing a lot of footwork stuff, which is really good. And then Genesis, I like a whole lot. I get to train with Montana De La Rosa and Jenny Frey and all those girls, and I think that's a really good step for me. And they're awesome people too. So they've been very welcoming and helpful to me.
Kristina, how much you think experience is going to come into this fight with Valerie having so much experience, then fight some of the best fighters of all time, women's fighters of all time, and kind of have that, like, I've been there, done that mentality?
Yeah, she definitely has a lot more experience than I do. I think that could come into play, but I'm usually pretty calm when I get in the ring, and I don't really panic a lot. So, like, when I get in the ring, I'm pretty at home. So she does have more experience, but I think that I can handle it for sure.
You know, the first fight against Heather Hardy, like Heather Hardy was coming in, like she was getting a whole lot of push from Bellator. You know, she was doing a whole bunch of media and everything from her boxing background. And you went out there and pretty much stunned everybody with that absolute bloodbath of a fight. It turned it out to be. But for people that haven't seen you fight yet, if they haven't seen that fight or whatever, how would you describe your style?
I come from a Taekwondo and Muay Thai background, so I like striking. I like kicking. I like long distance kicks, and I have a very aggressive style. So I like to make my fights really exciting because they're exciting to me. So yeah, I just like an aggressive striker, and I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu too. So I have both, but I love my striking so much.
How do you avoid getting countered with somebody like Valerie, who's very famous for countering people? She even countered Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who's one of the hardest, if not the hardest women in the world to counter. That's something you thought about, or you just gonna keep doing what you do?
I mean, I've definitely thought about the way that she fights and how she counters. So I'm definitely prepared for the way that she has countered that I've seen. So yeah, I mean, it's something that I have been working on. Yeah.
When she was, fighting, Joanna, that was at 115. She's at 125 now. A little bit more healthier. Like, we used to see her all the time, like on the scales, just looking like, for lack of a better term, looking like death on the scale. And obviously at 125 is a little bit healthier. So I've noticed that you fought, a couple of your amateur fights at 135. So I mean, how much weight cut are you having big weight cuts, or is it like, do you walk around no more at 135? What's the range of weight that you're usually working with?
I usually am anywhere from 135 to 140. I don't really get above that, so the weight cut is bad for me right now at all.
Okay. Because one of my biggest things on this podcast that we talk about all the time is the weight cutting issue. We hate seeing guys and gals get up there just completely drawn out, 24 hours before a fight. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I wish that was a part of the game that was just be eliminated from mixed martial arts altogether. But I'm glad to see another fighter at least that isn't killing themselves on the scale before they get out there. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely not it's not a horrible cut.
Yeah, and I think most of the guys out there at Genesis and at least the guys that work with Steven, they don't cut too much weight, do they? You guys have that conversations at all?
Yeah, I don't think they cut a ton. I'm not sure exactly how much a lot of them cut, but yeah, I think they have a pretty good program for how they do it too.
Yeah, with the big exception being Johnny Hendricks, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Sorry, no shots at Johnny. No shots at Johnny. Johnny's cool people.
That's none of his business, though.
Yeah. For sure. So how do you what do you do to spend the time when you're not training? Like, what are your interests? Outside of the fighting world?
Well, I work with horses a lot. I worked with horses all my life. So that's something that I do just in my downtime now. I was training a lot more horses, giving people riding lessons before, but that's a big thing for me that I've always loved them a lot.
Okay. Like what kind of, when you say like you work with them, like what kind of work are you doing with the horses? Is this like, just normal maintenance stuff, or is it like ranch work, or like what is it in particular?
I would do ranch work, but also I would train. I trained a lot of thoroughbreds to jump and like freeze hold them and give them like a new career. So I like training them to jump a lot. That's probably my favorite training on horses.
Oh wow. No falling off the horses scares yet or anything, right?
No. I mean, I've fallen off so many times I can't count. So I'm pretty used to getting buffeted around, so I think that's why fighting doesn't bother me.
I would hope so.
Do you ultimately want to get in the UFC and get a contract and fight, quote unquote, the best in the world, or you just taking it fight by fight?
Yeah, I just want to fight the best people that I can. So if eventually I get the UFC by doing that, then yeah, I really like to challenge my skill sets, and that's what I've done so far. And I keep taking the fights that are hard.
Who's one or two people that you want to fight, regardless of if it's like in Bellator or if it's in UFC, and regardless of the outcome? Who's some people like you just want to share the octagon with?
Well, I mean, eventually, like I love Valentine. So it'd be like doing it.
Valentina Shevchenko. Yeah, you're cutting out again a little bit.
I was doing that.
Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can hear you again now.
Okay, what you say about Valentina?
Oh yeah, she's one of my favorite fighters. I really admire her style, so that would be an honor.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
And how much do you think I want to say go for broke, but your reckless abandon style, how much do you think that makes people uncomfortable and they don't know how to deal with that?
I definitely think in my past 2 fights, it has made people uncomfortable. I'm not sure how much that would get to Valerie at all, because she's very much experienced. But yeah, I really don't have a lot to lose when I go into these fights, and I feel very confident that I can just be myself and fight as hard as I can, and I'm not really worried about it.
So has there been anybody? I mean, relatively, you're three fights into your pro career. Have you had anybody come at you, with a little animosity? Have you ever had any, true beef outside of the cage yet?
Not really yet. I haven't had a lot of problems. Everybody's been pretty awesome so far.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like sometimes, we get a little bit of little extracurriculars going on, especially when guys are coming in the game, getting their first few fights in. You see tempers flare a little bit, but that's good though. That's good though. Everybody's keeping it cordial and nice. That's good.
Matt's the peace man of MMA.
I mean, we gotta have a mix. I mean, if we're gonna have, I like the politeness. I like the Oda Machidas. I like the respect. I like the guys that go out there and get in your face too. I like the Kevin Lees. I just want it to be genuine, whatever you do. So if you're if you're genuinely a nice person, be a genuinely nice person. If you genuinely like to talk a lot of crap, talk a lot of crap. Just make it believable. Unlike Colby Covington, who knows what he's doing. But we won't get into that. We won't get into that right now. But
that's not his business, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you have any prediction how this fight plays out at Bellator 201?
I mean, hopefully it ends on the feet with me winning, but if it goes to the ground, hopefully I can end it on the ground too. But I don't have a real prediction, but yeah, I would love it to be on the feet.
Very cool, very cool. I will notice. I did want to point out you threw a spinning back kick in the fight against Emily Ducote. I was like, wow, that's a pretty strong spinning back kick you got right there. Is that one of your favorite techniques?
Yeah, I do like my spinning back kicks a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. Pretty legit. Have you seen Joe Rogan's?
Yes, his is very scary.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not lying. I saw it. I was like, wow, that's pretty sharp. It's pretty sharp. And then it was in the middle of, it wasn't exactly set up. It just came out of nowhere. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll catch Valerie with one of those.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Absolutely. So, Kristina, thank you for coming on the show. Where can the people find you? At Warhorse MMA. Do you have any sponsors or anything like that you want to shout out that's been helping you in preparation for the fight?
Yeah, I have a sponsor, Fit Meals Prep in Fort Worth. There's one of my sponsors for my fight, KBT Equine and TKO Combat Sports. Just a few of them right now, but you can find me on Facebook at Kristina Warhorse Williams and Instagram Warhorse MMA.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Check it out. People, give her a follow, give her a like, and catch her in action Friday, 29th, Bellator 201, headlined by McFarlane and Lara. It's going to be a hell of a night, hell of a good card for Bellator. So check it out. Kristina, thank you for coming on the Slip and Dip podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.